हेलो फ्रेंड्स, कैसे हैं आप सभी। मैं आशा करती हूँ कि आप सभी बहुत अच्छे होंगे। जो आज का हमारा टॉपिक है वो है सिलेक्शन प्रोसीजर में ही इंटरव्यू था। तो हम आज इंटरव्यू को डिस्कस करेंगे कि बेसिकली इंटरव्यू क्या होता है, व्हाट आर द टाइप्स ऑफ इंटरव्यू एंड व्हाट आर द प्रिकॉशंस एंड रूल्स टेकन फॉर सक्सेसफुल इंटरव्यू। सो विदाउट एनी डिले लेट्स स्टार्ट नाउ। बट अगर आपने अभी तक मेरे चैनल सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया है तो मेरे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर लीजिए। लेट्स मूव नाउ। इंटरव्यू. Interview is one of the most important steps in selection process. An interview is a conversation or verbal interaction normally between two persons for a particular purpose. Basically, interview is one of the most important. It means it is a most important or essential step which is included in a selection procedure, and which under which conversations or verbal interaction is take place between the interviewer or a person or a candidate, so that interviewer can get some information about the candidate and he can select candidate for their organization. So basically this is an interview, getting some information about the candidate. Okay, let's move. Importance of interview. Collecting accurate and essential information about the candidate. So it helps to collect the information about the candidate. Now providing the facts of the job and the organization to the candidates. It provides various types of facts like what kind of a job it is, and how the candidate is required the qualities to work. So this is basically a facts of the job, which facts of the job and the organizations from which candidates can relates to it. Now establishing a rapport with the prospective employee, then evaluating the suitability of the candidates to the job. We can try to establish that the job is most suitable for the candidate according to their skills. Now examining the inner view and the feeling of the candidate. Under the interview process or under the interview, interviewer's means attention is to examine the feeling, what internally interview candidate feel about the job, whether he internally likes the job and only for he wants to work for money. So it is examining the interview and the feeling of the candidate. Now types of interview. There are the various types of interview which can be take place in the different types of organization according to their needs, and on the following types of interview we should rate them. Like first, formal and structured interview. It is refers to that interview which is a very rigid in a nature and based on through job analysis. In formal structured interview, we have ready types of questions, and interviewer can ask these questions to the interviewee or a candidate about getting information from them. Now here interview and questions to be asked are planned beforehand so as to cover all areas related to the job and the candidate. Same set of questions are asked to all candidates, and which helps in a better comparative evaluation. It means those questions which are asked by the interviewer from one candidate, it can maybe repeated to the other candidates so that comparative evaluation can be take place. Now unstructured interview, as the name suggests that unstructured, it means there is a no formal pre-preparation of the questions, what kind of questions we asked from the candidate. So this is an unstructured interview, and predetermined framework of questions are not take place here, and the questions mainly depend on how the situation is, and what kind of questions the interviewer asks according to their interest from the candidate. So this is basically unstructured interview, and this types of interviews are more subjective in nature. So this is unstructured interview. Now stress interview. Stress interview, it means here the test of the applicant. The test is basically the applicant's ability to perform and deliver under stress, that how a candidate can perform when he was in stress. So interviewer puts the interviewee under stress by asking him unrelated questions or keeping quiet for a long period. So these types of stress interview taken place on the some organizations to check the stress of the candidate. Let's move group interview. In this interview, basically group interview is there's a many candidates from different types of questions are asked by the interviewers to different types of candidates in one sitting. In this interview, all the candidates or a groups of candidates are interviewed by the panel of interviewers or a single interviewer. So this method is used when there is a large number of applicants. Now, panel interview. Under this, representatives from the different departments get to meet and interview candidate. This also reduces the subjectivity involved in that one-to-one interview. Here, the name suggests the panel interview. Panel interview is there is a more than one interviewer who asks questions or who take interview to the many candidates. Now, in-depth interview. When we appoint any employee or any person or any candidate to our organization who is more related to the technology any skill job which is required high skills, then we go through for in-depth interview. Experts in the relevant area test the candidate knowledge and understanding of the subject and assess his expertise. So this is an in-depth interview. Broadly, we discuss these topics in our website, that is www.commercetalkingblogspot.com. If you have any doubt, then you can comment also. And let's move. The interview process. What is the interview process and how it take place? The first is preparation. It means the interview should follow the steps while preparing for the interview, like determining the objective, reading of applications, determine the mode of evaluation, that how we can evaluate the applications, be prepared without any prejudice or bias. So this is basically in an interview process and we should be follow, and this is the first step which contains all this preparation. Now the second is the physical setting. It means how we arrange the sitting how we arrange sitting so that interview can be take place in present manner. It means choose better place for an interview and the interview should be conducted in screen and soothing. The seating arrangement should be appropriate and ambience. Conducting the interview, like now the next step is that how we conduct the interview. The interview should be conducted in a pleasing manner. The interviewer should ask relevant questions and even grill the candidate. It means that he can give soothness so that candidate can feel more candidate cannot feel hesitated while giving their interview. Sorry, I cannot have any words. So let's move. Closing the interview. After taking this interview, the interviewer can close the interview, and interview should be closed in a smooth manner, avoiding any abrupt and awkward gestures and words, basically to indicate the end of the interview. The interviewer should make an overt sign. It means he does not give an overt sign that the candidate can feel something about the interview. So now the finally is evaluation. After taking interview, it is the duty of the interviewer that he can evaluate the interview as soon as the candidate leaves the room. While evaluating, it is the responsibility of the interviewer to steer clear of any personal biasness and takes decision in the best interest of the organization. So evaluation must be a very necessary step in the interviewer process. This types how interview close and how it takes place. Now thanks, this lecture can be finished now here, and subscribe the channel, like, share and comment, and if you have any doubt then please comment. I will definitely give you a reply.